Okay, now that we've gone through some details about tables of contents, let's look at some other kinds of files that we can add, some other lists. And one thing you'll probably notice is if you go to the Insert menu, the table of contents is kind of set apart. And that's because that's really the most common thing you're going to add to a book is a table of contents. So they make this stand apart. But what we can see here is there's actually some other lists that we can add. We can add a list of figures, a list of tables, elements, paragraphs, alphabetical lists, and we'll look at the markers later on in another lesson. But we can add these lists, and they look like they're all different, but really mechanically they work the same. So for example, if I want to add a list of figures here, what you're going to see is I basically get the same dialog box that I'd get if I was going to add a table of contents. The difference being is, I've got this LOF suffix for list of figures. I've got the same thing. I can decide if it goes before or after the particular component that's selected. And then really all I get is a list of paragraph formats. I mean, I could call this a list of figures and just, get a bunch of headings over here. But typically, you'll have a figure title in here, and that's what you'll want. So we're just double clicking on that to bring it over. And let's click OK. And we're going to generate this. We're probably not going to format it, but we'll just show you what it looks like, how everything is very similar. So we're given the option here to generate the list of figures, and we can also update or generate the table of contents. So we're just going to click Update, and it's going to do its thing. And there's our list of figures. So let's consolidate it there. The main thing you're going to see there, of course, is because this is a brand new list of figures and we haven't set this up ahead of time, now we have to format it just like we had to format the table of contents. And we did go over in a couple of the videos how we can make that sticky so that every time you create a new book you don't have to worry about the formatting. But it's essentially the same. So if we go to the reference pages, we're going to see now, if you look in the lower part of the document here, we have an LOF reference page because that was the suffix that was in our dialog box. So LOF, it comes over. If we click in this reference frame, we look in the lower left-hand corner and we see that there's a flow called LOF. If we click in this paragraph here, we'll see the paragraph name is the same as what we're bringing over. We're bringing over figure titles, but it has the LOF tacked onto it. And of course, the name of the file in the book is going to have the same base name as the book. So it's Table Cleaner. Then it's going to have the suffix tacked on, LOF, and then .fm. So everything is really the same. It's just a different. We're just pulling over different paragraph formats, but it works basically the same.